Have you ever started an art piece or color graded a video or a photo, then taken a little break, came back, looked at it and was like, oh God, what was I thinking? Why does this look so terrible? What is this abomination that I've created? Because I know I have. And today we're going to be talking about erasing your art. If you're still here, then chances are you have gone through that exact same scenario. You go for a little break, you come back, the colors are all wrong, the anatomy's all wrong. You've drawn Quasimodo when you were meant to draw Esmeralda. Now, the point of today's video is normalizing the idea of erasing your art and starting over again. Now, the act of starting over is actually not as easy as it sounds, mainly because the idea and the notion of redo, restart, undo is intrinsically linked to the notion of failure. And we as humans are brought up thinking that failure is bad. If you went and did a test and you got a failing result, chances are if you had an Asian parent, they'll whip up that slipper and be like, 仆街仔，哇嚓！
又係你個仆街仔啊！唔好睇啊！唔好理佢，唔好理佢，冇嘢睇，冇嘢睇，冇嘢睇。
And that sucks, for sure. But what I'm trying to say is that failure is part of the process. You need to fail to succeed. It's like Thomas Wayne says in the Batman films. We fail and we fall so that we learn how to pick ourselves up again. Now here's the thing. There is a very distinct difference between having to redo something and wanting to redo something. For example, say you had a client and there was a strict deadline and a brief and you messed up making the completely wrong thing, then naturally you have to redo it. It is what it is, bro, you've messed up. But what if there was no deadline? What if there was no brief? What if it's a personal project? Now you might be thinking, oh, if it's a personal project, then obviously you can restart. Well, yes, but again, there are scenarios that could make that a little bit more tricky. For example, what if there were other crew members involved? What if there are actors or models? What if you paid a studio? You rented lights, you got equipment, you put in time to make a set? What if you spent £10,000, put in 10,000 hours? Suddenly, the idea of scrapping and restarting isn't as easy as you think. So you're immediately thinking, okay, what are ways I can work around this? Maybe I can fix it in post. Maybe I can re-edit it. Maybe I can say nothing, pretend everything is fine, and everything will be okay. So let's run with that scenario. Say you do that, and you do somehow find a way of kind of fixing it, putting a band-aid on it and being like, all right, this will do, no one will know. So you release it. Things are all right, right? But then you look at it every day. It stares at you every day. And you're thinking, it should have been better. It could have been better. Now, of course, we are our own critics, and a lot of the time, no one else will know what could have been. But you do. And that's what makes the difference. You know what could have been. You know what should have been. And that feeling sucks. That is the worst feeling ever. If you're an artist and you created something and you know what it could have been like, ugh. And all my friends are always saying, yeah, but no one will ever know. The audience loves it. But I know. And that's what's terrible. So this is where I come in. For your own sake, for your future self's mental health's sake, scrap it. Redo it. Restart. Go back to square one and rethink this thing. The most important thing right now is for you to swallow your pride and let your ego go and just take the L. You have to tell yourself that it's okay to fail. It's okay to erase your art and start over again. Now you might be thinking, I put in too much money. I put in too much time. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It feels like that, but 90% of the time, it's not. 90% of the time, it is something you can redo. If there were other people involved, if they're passionate about it, then chances are they will understand and they will say yes to doing it again. If it costs a little bit of money, save up again. Do some other things first. Reinvest in yourself. Use the money that you earn from your other clients or other projects and put it back in and make it better. Use your time to make a better plan. Use your time to learn from your mistakes. Use your time to understand what went wrong last time. And this way, your second attempt will be better than the first by a mile. Because now you know exactly what to do, and even more importantly, what not to do. Hey guys, so I've got a big shoot tomorrow. Just setting everything up now. The backdrop's up, the lights are up, bada bing bada boom. And I'm just feeling a little nervous, feeling a little scared, because tomorrow's shoot is actually a redo. It's a redo of a shoot that I had almost 6 months ago in Tokyo, Japan. I flew out to Japan. I booked a studio, booked all the equipment, all the lights, the set, and an amazing model who had an amazing following. She was incredible, and it was a dream team. And I put a lot of time, effort, and money into this project. And the concept was for my exhibition, which hopefully will be unveiled to you very soon. But I did the shoot, and it went really well. Everyone was amazing. But when the shoot wrapped, and I flew back and I was looking at the images, there was this feeling of uneasiness, but I couldn't really pinpoint what went wrong. Now, it couldn't have been the model, because she was perfect. It wasn't the studio and it wasn't the lighting either. But something was off. Something was amiss. So I figured I'd sleep on it. Get some new eyes, fresh perspective, channel my inner Morgan Freeman in the third act of a movie. But alas, it wasn't to be. Days turned to weeks, weeks into months, and it still eludes me. And then I started thinking, okay, maybe the image will come to life in the edit. Maybe when I edit it and maybe when I alter it and tweak it, it'll look better. So I did. And the image looked fine, but it still wasn't giving me that oomph, you know? It wasn't giving me that kind of effect that I wanted it to have. And after looking at it for 6 months, every single day thinking about this image, it was a couple weeks ago that I finally decided that I had to scrap it. I had to get rid of the whole thing and go back to square one. I didn't want to put out something that I wasn't proud of. And I felt like it would be a disservice to me, it would be a disservice to the model and to everyone involved. You know, I need to take the L. And I went back to the drawing board. I broke down the image and what I thought was working and what I thought wasn't working. So I had to rethink the concept. I had to add things, subtract things, recontextualize everything. And now I've completely changed the concept. I've recast the whole thing. The message is still the same, but the execution, the way I'm telling that message is completely different. If you could see the two concepts, you would think that they're two completely different ideas. But I think the key for tomorrow is to use this fear, to use this nervousness to make me perform better. You know, this kind of anxiety, this kind of nervousness, I can't get rid of that. Like, that's inevitable. But what I can change is how I let it affect me, my relationship with this anxiety. So yeah, so tomorrow, nervous as hell, but I'm also excited because I'm excited to finally see this new concept be brought, well, this old concept be brought to life in a new way. So yeah, hopefully things go okay. You are now on camera.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Welcome back to the present day. So I'm just gonna say one last thing before the end of today's video. The easiest and best way to become a better artist or a better person in general is to accept that mistakes will happen and that you can never be in full control of every situation. But when problems arise, you shouldn't waste your time lamenting those setbacks. Instead, you should focus on finding a way to use them. When you get stuck, you aren't fazed. You learn to pause because you know that paying close attention is a more fruitful response than crazily running around. Difficulty doesn't disappear, but you engage with it instead of struggling against it. So go out there, make some art, but more importantly, make some mistakes. Erase your art, start over again, draw Quasimodo, because he's the GOAT, and that's an underrated film. Okay, I think I'm gonna watch Hunchback of Notre Dame now. But anyway, I've been your boy Seb. Peace. It was just another night in the City of Angels. God damn.